Less than a week from now, as the 48th Parliament gathers for the first time since the May election, Australians will see the manifestation of Anthony Albanese's thumping win. A chamber dominated by Labor's 94-seat majority. A room filled with the weight of expectations, not least about whether the Prime Minister can deploy newfound political capital for reforms that lift living standards.
Historical judgments will be harsh, I think, on any government that has a majority of this size and is seen not to have used it.
Labor is reprising its old playbook, admittedly one with a mixed history, hosting a reform roundtable in Parliament next month. In 1983, the National Economic Summit underpinned Bob Hawke and Paul Keating's reform agenda. Kevin Rudd's 2008 version, complete with the Hollywood glamour, was ultimately crushed under the weight of the global financial crisis. One of its legacies was a review of the tax system, led by Ken Henry, who today issued a clarion call to seize the political momentum.
Democracy is not broken here in Australia. We do have the opportunity in Australia right now to show the world what good looks like, just as we did in the 1980s, just as we did in the 1990s. And it's vital that we do so. We cannot afford the policy complacency of recent decades.
I think at the beginning of a new term of Parliament, it's particularly good time, and coming off the environment we've come off over the last few years, I think it's I wouldn't say it's a burning platform, but it's a really good time to have that discussion if everyone is serious about having that discussion.
Political historians like ANU's Frank Bongiorno say successful governments use their mandate.
Governments in the past have used things like summits and roundtables in order to kind of shift public debate. So there are ways in which you attempt to shift the goalposts between elections, and in fact the very best governments do this.
Next month's roundtable is already groaning under the weight of ideas. Many have been heard before, like expanding the GST. But there have been surprises from unexpected quarters. Rather than recycling the usual business calls for corporate tax cuts, the Commonwealth Bank is advocating a closer look at wealth taxes. And mining giant Rio Tinto is backing a carbon price.
The fact that everyone seems to be keen, you've got people putting substantive ideas forward and having that contest of ideas, and at a forum like that at least provides some opportunity, doesn't guarantee it, but provides some opportunity to take stuff forward.
Ken Henry reckons overhauling broken environmental laws should be the priority.
To put it bluntly, there is no chance of Australia meeting stated targets for net zero, for renewable energy, for critical minerals development, for housing and transport infrastructure, without very high quality national laws that set clear environmental standards. Boosting productivity and resilience relies upon environmental reform.
Contributions like Henry's are lifting the stakes for the Prime Minister, urging him to be bolder.
Paul Keating used to talk about burning political capital, this idea that you had a certain amount of capital there and he believed you should use it if you're in government. Now, I'm not sure that philosophy is perhaps quite as strong in this government.
I still think it's more an issue of looking at what are the big issues confronting us today. That's the challenge which requires leadership to address.
The Prime Minister finds himself in a unique political moment with a thumping majority and a broken opposition. But he's also a student of Labor history, steeped in the achievements and failures of his predecessors. Will he rise to the challenge?
Every generation should aspire to future generations enjoying a better standard of living than the one that we enjoy. Problem is, who's holding the political system accountable for the delivery of that? Because we're really talking about what we should really be interested in is what is Australia going to look like in 100 years' time?
Politicians do attend to posterity. They are interested in how future generations look back on them. And so, these things will be in front of mind.